who that is.
I'm gonna hide non-participant. Sorry, guys.
Eric, did you try logging in on like a different computer or something?
No.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Got it. Good.
Sorry about you. Interrupt.
Where did we leave off last time, everyone?
In my notebook.
Oh yeah.
Oh, your Christmas tree is really cute. I just saw it.
We are traveling through the marsh.
That's her art thing that she did.
Oh, I love it. I thought that was a pillow sham. I love it.
It's like a brain made out of like flower petals and leaves.
Cool.
That's a great idea.
Oh, I remember we crossed the river. I have a headache, and that's all I remember.
You have a headache?
From the coffee.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
We made it to Marshview.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember where we ended. Did we stay in the tavern or did we keep going?
Can't remember.
It all just arrived in Marshview after
Okay.
trekking through the swamp and making your way across a giant chasm of a river over the natural bridge that Susan had directed you to. You did meet Susan with her adorable little beetle familiar, Normal. And it took you a full day to get to Marshview. It's about midday now. And you just finished the last of your cookies from the new coffee shop that seems to have opened in the town. And I think Basil just tried to have a conversation with some teenage girls who kind of giggled their way through the conversation.
Yeah.
And you have a general location for Cirillo's hut on the outskirts of Marshview, where Susan had sent you to get 200 pounds of salt in order to help bring Cam back.
Yeah.
But that is where we are. Cookie crumbs still on the sides of your faces. Mugs almost empty. And we'll pick up right there on a beautiful afternoon in Marshview.
I mean, time's ticking, right? If we get going. Got a dead friend to save.
Oh, yeah. Your dead friend.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. But like, if we keep going down that path, we might find Cirillo.
All right. Yeah. So I just look at the cookies. I finish whatever's on the table. Chug my coffee. I'm good to go.
Right. So you all get up from your table laden with mud after your trek through the swamp. The teenagers on the table next to you holding their like Frappuccino type beverages. That coffee is new to you, but this is like something totally different that you've never seen before. And you slowly start to make your way south out of Marshview, traveling along roads for the first time in actually a couple of days after traveling through just roots and swamp and water and uncomfortable conditions. The road seems to be nice and welcoming. And as you travel out of Marshview, walking along, the trees here are less scary than what they were in the swamp. More new growth as opposed to the old growth in the heart of the swamp itself. And the road slowly gives way on a curve to a plank walkway almost, with a little kind of fork in the road. And as you continue onto this little walkway, slowly but surely following the directions from those teenagers, you come up to this hut surrounded by what looks like shallow water, with saplings populating around the area. It's this not ramshackle, but maybe not the most pristine hut to be built in a swamp. It has a thatched roof kind of matching the rest of the buildings in Marshview. And solid wooden door that has kind of peeling paint. You don't see anybody around this hut right now.
Are there any windows or just that big door? That's
There, you can see one window kind of on the main floor, even though the roof almost looks like a wizard's hat, kind of leaning off, kicked off to one
okay.
side. You do see one window on the main floor, but it is shuttered closed.
Did anybody pick up that fork in the road, or we just leave it?
It's yours if you want it.
Oh, you grabbed it?
No, it's yours if you want it.
Well, it's all the way back there. I gotta go. I figure one of you guys would have taken it.
Oh, we can get out of the way back.
Okay. So what's the plan to get in here?
I mean, it's a door, right? We can just knock. You've used doors, right?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I went through an entranceway to the cafe, but you guys opened the door.
Yeah. Well, usually, like, I mean, you don't just walk in. You got to let them know you're here for. So maybe, like, if you walked up there and just made a lot of noise.
Why don't you guys show me?
Yep. I knock and then just try to walk through.
What just happened?
We're teaching. He's never seen civilization before.
Cyrus?
Maybe. I don't know. From all we know, he's lived in a cave his whole life.
That's fair.
Oh yeah.
I missed that pretty important point in the recap. That's on me.
Yeah.
Okay, Dace, you go up, knock
Yeah.
on the door,
And then try to walk through. As Apoc demonstrated, you gotta make your presence known before entering the house.
okay. You knock on the door and just in one swoop try and enter the house, and you smack your face as you realize the door is locked.
The
You do hear some shuffling behind the door now, though, that you smacked your face full into this wooden plank.
I think it's a push.
I look over to Basil. Is he always like this?
Basil just kind of looks at him. Unfortunately, yes.
Dace, as you're standing right near the door, you almost hear the shuffling like stop, and you hear this kind of low growl from the other side.
What would Dace do?
What do you say?
Surrender.
You looking for someone?
Hmm.
Maybe we Sir Basil steps up and kind of like yells, trying to like essentially like through the door. Cirillo, we're looking for Cirillo.
As you say that, you hear in your mind,
Okay.
"Can I help you?"
Oh God.
Did we all hear this or just him?
No, it's just in Basil's
Yeah.
mind.
Basil kind of just like is like staring at me like, where'd that come from? What? And he kind of like staring off because he doesn't know where it came from, just says, we're looking for the help of a Cirillo.
Dace, in your mind, you hear, "Back away from the door. And I might be inclined to open."
Okay, well, and I don't know what the conversation with Basil was with, right? So I just hear this random sentence in my mind.
Yeah, you just hear Basil shouting. Everything Basil says, I'm assuming, is out loud,
Or
but you don't know what
Sure.
Basil heard.
Yeah, I'll step back.
Okay.
Who?
As you step far enough back, Basil, your question remains unanswered, but you see the door kind of open just a crack, and there's this like heavy chain on the other side of it, like one of those hotel room locks.
Okay.
And as you kind of peer in the inside, in the glaring sun outside, it's a little bit difficult because the inside is dark. There's no sunlight coming in. There looks to be a little candle kind of backlighting the silhouetted figure in the door frame. And all of you just see this kind of long snout, robed figure, kind of with one ear kicked off to the side, one standing up straight. The fur almost just graying around the nose and the eyes. And just this Vulpin, this older Vulpin, kind of observing all of you, looking from one to the other, hiding behind the door with the heavy chain. Is there something I can help you with?
Is that out loud now?
That's out loud now.
I would think Sir Basil would continue the conversation.
Yeah, I don't remember any of the names. Who's the name of the person who sent us?
Susan.
Sir Basil kind of like walks up to the door, like keeping still a safe distance, but just so that he can like get a better look at this guy as he's peeking, the Vulpin as he's peeking through, and he says, "Cirillo, I presume. Susan sent us. She mentioned that you might be able to help us collect salt."
At the mention of Susan, everyone around the door hears this kind of low growl, and you almost see Cirillo kind of snarl in a way.
But Pearly
Kind of
White,
bare his teeth just a little bit and then kind of like shake his head.
my sir, what pearly big white teeth you have.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was thinking this is definitely Red Riding Hood situation.
Damn, I didn't realize that. Maybe
Past his prime.
I need a proofreader for my notes to see what puns you can pull from it. He sort of looks at you, Basil, as being the one who spoke, and looks each of you up and down, making an uncomfortably long eye contact. Might as well come in then if it's from Susan. And he slams the door a little too aggressively. You hear the lock open up, and then the door opens, seemingly on its own, as Cirillo is no longer in the door frame.
Interesting.
Sir Basil enters.
Is a Vulpix? That's like a little wolf, right?
The Pokemon.
Vulpin.
Oh, Vulpin? Oh, Vulpix.
No, Vulpin.
Vulpix is the Pokemon. Vulpix
Yeah.
is the race.
Oh, that's just okay, Vulpin.
I mean, they're technically kind of the
It's
same.
like, it is like fox wolf-esque.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see.
Like a Vulpix.
Yeah.
Hit point press may have taken some.
I
May have taken some.
feel like Pokemon took some.
Oh, when did this?
I think I don't know. I don't know what came
Oh,
first,
whatever.
Vulpins or Vulpixes.
That's fine. Anyways, you all enter Cirillo's hut, and it was nice outside, and you're about as far south in Humblewood as you can get without going right to the coast. As soon as you enter Cirillo's hut, it is chilly. All the windows seem to have been shuttered closed. The only light is the lantern light here. And it's got a little bit of a just chill, not something that you notice outside in the sun. You watch as Cirillo sort of sits in this kind of carved chair with chunks taken out of it. And there's almost like a slice that's been taken out of the back of this high-backed chair, as if a throne had been kind of mutilated and destroyed in a battle. And everywhere you look in this hut, every surface, every shelf, every opening, there is some form of trinket or book or lock or ornament. This Vulpin is a pack rat in every sense of the word.
Yeah, I was going to say it sounds like a little bit of a hoarder.
Yeah.
I was like Camembert would have loved this place.
Would have.
You do see that there are rickety stools sort of available to you, but Cirillo just kind of eyes you over his fingertips. You see now that you're a little bit closer and he isn't being silhouetted, he has these like half moon glasses that sit at the very end of his nose. There's now a chunk that looks like what's been taken out of his ear, the one that's kind of flopped to the side. And you see, although his robes are pretty ornate in terms of the like threading, they are faded, has lost its color. But he regards you in his house, and you hear once more that kind of growl in his chest. What did Susan want? I assume she came calling in a favor. What did she want?
She needs 200 pounds of salt, good sir.
That's a very particular request.
Sounds like you're well versed in this request.
He just sort of gestures. I'm a collector of interesting things. Components, trinkets.
Salt?
If I have the salt, and I'm not saying that I do, what are you prepared to pay for it?
Can I like walk around his shelves and just drag a finger across like the shelves and stop at a trinket that looks broken?
All right, yes, you can.
And I pick it up and hold it in my hand and cast mending as I fix it. Well, we can fix all of these little trinkets for you. And I put it back on the shelf.
Cirillo will turn his attention to you, still kind of holding his hands, almost very at ease, despite having 5 strangers in his home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 strangers in his home. And he'll kind of,
5?
without breaking eye contact, pick up one of the trinkets that's also broken next to him, wave his hand, and you see it mend as well.
Sir Basil walks
Interested
up.
in services.
So Basil walks up and says, perhaps then we could offer you other trinkets to add to your collection as payment for your services.
There's very few trinkets that I have not yet seen or has not passed by my hand. It would have to be something quite rare for something like that. If it is a trade that you want, I enjoy a good secret or two.
Ooh.
I would gladly give you the salt if you'd be willing to share a story. Maybe one from each of you.
Oh, interesting.
The better the secret, the more inclined I'll be to part with such a unique component.
Do you like apples? I know a place.
So do I. It wouldn't happen to be the orchard just outside of the city, would it?
Yeah. Do you like them?
They like those apples.
Could give you a discount card.
I can provide for myself.
Give her a
Alright.
sample.
Persuasion check.
Okay. I'm not very persuasive. Oh, but that is 19.
No, I don't think that's enough for this guy. I'll stick with what he said.
Fair.
What exactly is it about salt that is so unique that you would want us to part with a secret?
Well, I know of Susan. I know the type of magic that she deals in. Salt in and of itself, my dear, is not unique, but the quantity is quite specific. And I have an idea that I know what this salt will be used for. So how about I phrase this in another way? How much, what secret is worth the life of the person you're trying to bring back? And now you'll see why this component is unique.
In response to being called my dear, Mrs. Q just huffs. She hates those kinds of terms. She's the oldest one here for sure.
This Vulpin looks old. Like you see the gray, you see the sagging skin. This isn't a young Vulpin calling you my dear. It's
But I mean,
years of age that he feels has given him the right to do so.
but Miss Quillam moisturizes, and that's why she doesn't look as old as she is.
That's fair.
So she's a little bit like, okay.
Yeah, that's fair. Totally fair.
She is this close to saying, we'll just go get our salt from a fishery or something.
Your secrets must be worth more than this person if you're not willing to part with even a single one for this component. Susan is a dear friend. I'm giving you a discount by asking for only one.
Just one secret or one each?
Well, that depends on the quality of the secret.
Oh man, I've got stories. I haven't told any of these guys yet, but I could go first if it means saving Cam.
You're welcome to share.
Oh, okay. I mean, I haven't. I guess Cam is the only one I've really told this before. I have to think about it. So that's, I mean, it's a pretty rare secret if you're looking for rarity and secrecy. But have you ever seen a boar that's got gray fur this young in his life?
You see Cirillo kind of adjust the glasses a little bit on his nose. Scratches chin.
It's intriguing, eh?
Continue.
Well, it wasn't always like this. It's a, was an accident. It wasn't intended. But I was roaming around one day, going through the woods, minding my own business, trying to find some food, get a snack. Wound up in this beautiful garden. I mean, it was probably the most pristine, elegant thing I've ever seen. And minding my own business and picking some mushrooms, and all of a sudden this dark looming figure caught my eye a couple miles away. Wasn't really paying attention to it too much until it got a little closer, and everything just went dark. I felt like I wasn't supposed to be there. To be honest, I can't even tell you where this is. I don't have any recollection of that whatsoever, but woke up the next day and everything was just gone. It was gray. Skin was pale. It was spooked. So I asked some locals, tried to get some help on it, and they gave me this. And you see Apoc just pull out like this old decrepit hand. It's supposed to ward off the evil spirit so it doesn't get me again. I don't know.
As you pull out the hand, you see Cirillo kind of lean forward with interest, almost despite his better judgment.
And he just like Apoc just pulls it back, like keeps it to himself.
I thought there was something familiar about you.
What do you mean?
That hand was part of my collection at one point.
Whoa.
I sold it. It's yours.
Okay.
Interesting to see where it ended up.
Yeah.
That's quite the tale.
Apoc just high fives it and puts it back. Keeping me safe now.
And none of you knew this before then.
That's got to be worth 200 pounds of salt.
I think that's a fair exchange. On one condition. If you ever do no longer need that hand, I'll take it back.
Okay.
Cirillo kind of raises a hand to scratch his nose, and in the back of your mind, Apoc, you hear, I'm gonna type it to you.
Jesus.
Oh, I feel like the tension in the room is just like intense. Everyone's just like, what's happening? Sir Basil's ears are definitely like standing straight up, just like listening.
So everyone, give me a second.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, that's what you hear just in the back of your mind as Cirillo scritches his nose and looks at you.
Apoc just smiles.
Right. Cirillo goes to stand, and as he does, you see him kind of wave his hand in the air, and the spectral hand, similar to, I can't remember which one of your characters had mage hand, Eric, but maybe both. I'm sorry. You see what you know to be this spell mage hand kind of appear. This one almost this like wispy gray to match the gray on this Vulpin's nose. And as it reaches towards one of the many cupboards lining the floor and the walls of this place, it kind of opens the door very slowly, and it creaks like this is not a well-kept place. And underneath you see these bags of, they look like the massive bags of flour that you get in the grocery store. Because one of the things I did to prepare for this session was try to get a better understanding of how big 200 pounds of salt is. So that was a Google search I did. And you see him kind of pull the mage hand to the other side of the room, and it opens another cupboard. And once more, it goes to a cupboard behind you all in this very tiny hut, and opens one more door to reveal another few bags. And then Cirillo kind of waves his hand once more as the mage hand disappears. There's 8 bags, 200 pounds of salt. You can tell Susan that next time she wants to send wayward souls, they need to have that kind of a story. Take them and leave. And he just sort of sits back in his chair and turns towards this like empty fireplace.
Right, I mean, can we sell more stories for goods? I didn't know stories was currency.
Make a persuasion check.
Like, I don't know about you guys, but 8 bags is a lot. We might need something to put them in.
Very true.
That's what.
Oh my
8.
god, I rolled another 18. That's another 19 total.
Whole thing, no problem.
Without turning around, because that'll be enough for this. Without turning around, depends on the story.
Anybody got a good story?
No one else is up to sharing.
If you mind, I look at the Vulpin and reach into his thoughts telepathically to him. Now, these 4 souls are just looking to help their friend. I've lived a life away from people for years because of people like you, people that have nothing but confrontation in their hearts. And the secret that I'm going to give you is that people like Susan actually welcome those who are rejected by society. And those are the true people with pure souls. And while everybody in town thought it was an accident, I'm glad people like you got hurt.
Damn.
Apoc just looks around and come on, nobody's got a story.
While this exchange is going on telepathically. Cyrus, you kind of see the Vulpin's ears twitch a little bit, but you swear you just see him smile. He doesn't respond.
Somebody remembered their notes from last session.
Pardon?
Well, I wrote down in here, completely ignored it. Be firm, but do not harm him.
I turn around, kind of fuming. I push the door open with my invisible mage hand and walk out.
Somebody's got to tell a story.
Cyril's not even asking, Sean is asking. Sorry.
Sir Basil walks up and you can tell he's like thinking like story. What can I say? And so then he takes his helmet off so that now you guys are in the crew have already seen this by now, but like you see his scar. And he kind of like shows Cirillo his scar and says, I received this scar many, many years ago. I had many opportunities to heal it, but I didn't. It is a constant reminder to me of where I came from. My family were lowly servants who were at what was how you would say it, like at the mercy of, meaning like cruelty.
Yeah.
At the mercy of a ruthless Corvum. In fact, it is because of this scar. It's because of him that I have this scar. And it is a reminder that since that day, he's never ever looked down on a Durban ever again. And I've never looked back and seen my family. And then he kind of pulls his, I guess, cloak or robe off. This is something that I've never really shared, but assuming because you guys have traveled together, you would have probably noticed, or you would have noticed that there is like an emblem or a symbol on his cloak. It would look something like a pair of wings that are like held together by a ring. And he kind of like holds it up to Cirillo and says, this is the banner of the once great house of Zogma. no more because a little German decided to stand up to him.
Ooh, Zogma.
And that's the story.
He's Cirillo. Those glasses on the edge of his nose kind of lean down towards you and reach for the cloak. And if you'll let him, grab an edge to just feel the fabric and trace over the symbol of the House of Zogma.
Sir Basil lets him.
That's quite the story. Stories of heroism don't usually end with the first fight. Be careful.
Eerie.
Oh, we can't hear you, Eric.
I'm saying I'm outside just staring in the window doing this.
If you require a bag to carry the Sultan, as your friend mentioned, you're welcome to take it. And you'll see the mage hand reappear to start pulling bags off of what you didn't realize before was a coat hook behind the doorway that you entered.
Is it a bag of holding? I find one that seems bottomless on the inside.
There's a bottom.
Damn.
Like, darn.
Yeah.
But they're quite deep. They're like mountaineering backpacks,
Okay.
like built to carry a lot of stuff kind of deal.
Are they brand name?
They are Fear Dammy.
Fear Dammy. Jesus. All right. I'm adding Fear Dammy backpack to my inventory.
Sir Basil puts his cloak back on and his helmet and just says, thank you for the trade. And like kind of looks back at the crew, trying to see if they are looking at him in a weird way or reacting to him in a weird way now that they've heard this personal story. But he kind of just pushes past it and tries to just like be all like chivalrous and tough again.
Any other stories for any other wares? A trinket that catches your eye, maybe? Or is the salt in the bags what you came for?
Is it exactly 200 pounds that he gave us?
You see 25 pounds written in the corner of each, of like a bag of flour.
Guys, what if we drop one? It's a swamp.
What if we what?
What if we drop one?
That's true.
Like, do we need spares? Should we ask for more? Like, I could fit in this backpack. How many?
It's the big camping ones. You could fit
8?
3.
Okay.
No, not 8, because it's the big things of flour that we normally get, that you're dealing with here.
Big things?
It's 25 pounds
Holy
per.
shit.
There's 8 of them.
This is like a baby.
Yes, they're huge. It's 200 pounds of salt. I Googled.
All right, so we're boiling 8 salt babies to bring back Camembert.
Jesus. That's
200
awful.
pounds.
Don't worry, Dace lifts. There's nothing.
Dace does live. Dace, maybe you should take this bag.
There's 2. There's 2 of the big hiking bags that
Okay.
Cyril's mage hand pulled off.
Bench
So,
Okay.
sorry, Eric?
You can bench 200 with his beak.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know,
All right. Okay, well, we have 2. I mean, Dace could take one. I could take one. I mean, it's a little too big for
Oh,
you.
25 pounds of salt? That's nothing.
No. If you're going to put it in these bags, like it's 8 25-pound bags that you're dealing with here. So if you're going to put them in the backpack, you can fit like 3, 4 in the backpack, but that's 100 pounds of salt
Yeah.
per bag if you're going to put 4 in each.
Uh-huh.
In hindsight, fourth wall here. Do you know the bags of salt you get for Christmas? Or like for the winter time?
Wait, bag. Oh, like for
Oh, you're talking about
outside.
outside.
Yeah, for outside, yeah.
Like your
Come on.
parents
You-
give you
yeah.
salt for Christmas.
Instead of what is it? Charcoal or what is it? Coal?
Yeah.
You get salt.
It's salt.
Mhm.
Yeah, those bags are like 25 kilos. So that's not 25 pounds of salt. Huh?
You know those big bags of flour, like not the like the 1 kilo ones, the 10
Mhm.
kilo ones at the bottom shelf of a grocery store. They're
Yeah.
big, like you need to hug them to lift them up. That's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with 8 of those.
Okay.
Jason isn't phased.
I'm not even phased.
I eat that much flour for breakfast.
I don't know if it's Dace or it's Dennis that isn't phased.
Like,
You have
I
to
think it's
carry
me.
these through a swamp
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you know took you an entire
Mhm.
day and spent the night going.
Yeah, but
through.
Yeah.
we don't. Oh yeah, I guess we don't have our cart.
No.
Mm.
Nope.
And we left our ponies.
We,
back, uh,
there might be like something we could steal from home. Like the orchard might have like something like a push cart that we could grab.
mm.
Might help. I don't know. We could check with them, see if they have anything. If you want to go visit the old orchard, grab some apples, get some food for the way. Mom and Papa sure be happy to see me.
How close are we to the orchard?
That's on the other side of town.
Apoc, you can make stuff, right? You can engineer.
I can try.
Could we chop down a tree and then carve it out into a sled?
That might take more time than what we have.
Oh,
And then it would break after an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
So Basil turns to Cirillo and says, the swamp is treacherous terrain. Any chance you might have a cart we could use?
Unfortunately, what I have is what you see. Cot does not do so well when you're in the middle of water the way I am. One has no need for a cot, and I can use magic to move what I need.
that makes sense.
And refresh our memory. There was no stables in town, was there?
There would be stables here in town. It's mostly a farming community, so you
Mhm.
could go to stables.
Mhm.
But also just to refresh your memory, keep in mind, there's no roads that you travel through the swamp.
That's
You're
what I'm
traveling
checking
through
right now.
bare forest.
Yeah.
You also had
Okay.
to cross the delta of this river
Yeah.
that you know was precarious to begin with. So just be
Mhm.
aware, whatever you're taking with you might not make it across that delta, depending on how the dice roll.
Oh,
Gotcha.
guys, if we traveled a little bit east, we could have went to the salt port. But they have salt there.
Oh my god. For those playing the home game, the city is called Salter's Port.
Ah, I see.
Oh, okay.
Wouldn't be the first time Apoc got a name wrong.
Yeah,
Not gonna be the last.
I love it.
Is there a weight cap for our characters?
Yes, there is. It's more like if you, Jesus, how big did you make your writing?
I made this one big and I
Okay.
made this one big too. I just haven't changed it back.
How much weight you can carry in pounds is 10 times your strength score. So the small number on your character sheet.
10 times. Oh, okay. Got you.
Yeah, so I think you're all actually pretty okay.
10 times your small number?
10 times your small, sorry, 15 times.
Okay.
Hold
that
on,
makes
hold
sense.
on. Nope, 10 times. And
Really?
10 times your strength score.
We must not be playing with encumbrance then,
No,
Okay.
because I'm already over.
yeah, no encumbrance. I think I have it right. I wrote down 10. Eric, is it 10?
Don't know.
But it's not that it's not that you can't carry it after that, it just gets hard.
Yeah, makes
Okay,
sense.
15.
It's 15. Okay, I wrote it
Okay.
wrong. My mistake, everyone. Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
No worries.
In your inventory, it tells you how much you can carry. So weight carried, and then you can click on it and it'll give you encumbrance. Like
Cool.
I can carry up to 150 pounds.
Yeah, that's me too.
I'm carrying 20, so I could carry like 4 of these bags.
Okay, you should take this backpack.
I can carry 255 or drag 510.
So literally, give me your stuff, and then you carry the salt.
Just like one backpack in the front, one backpack in the back.
Think of the mad games.
Those gains.
Yeah, I hand over one of the Fear Dammy bags to Cyrus,
Oh, I already hate what I've done.
full of 4 bags. So, because yeah, if I lift up one of these bags, I'm encumbered, technically.
Just so you know, Basil's encumbrance weight is 225 pounds. So he can carry some.
One of these things of flour is almost your size.
I'm now speaking to say, hey.
I love it.
Yeah.
Kind of amazing.
I mean, if you want, I could rig up like a stick system to brace it higher than you. So it's like, it might be 3 times your height, but you can still hold it with no issues.
You look like one of those kids, like the kindergartners
you'll
who
look
are going to school with
Mike,
the backpack.
Mike Lewowski from
Yeah.
University.
Wouldn't drag on the ground.
What if you got a stick that goes across and like puts on top, and then you can get like really, what's the word the kids use? Yoked.
Yeah.
You get yoked, and then you get yoked with your yoke. That's the yoke.
You hear a slam as you see all of the covers that Cirillo had opened slam shut.
Prestidigitation, slam them open.
Jesus Christ.
Perhaps this conversation of yours can be outside, away from my piece.
You want an apple?
He'll mage hand pick it up.
Looking around Cirillo's place, are there any like cool trinkets that like would catch our eye?
Tons. Like everything on these shelves looks interesting and cool, and like some are whirring and making noise, some are broken. Now that you have a chance to be in this hut, Basil, you can see that what was once just clutter is now organized to some regard. There's shelves of broken trinkets that need to be fixed. There's shelves of shined trinkets that look completely new. And it's not just trinkets, it's books. Ones where the bindings have been messed up, ones where it looks like they've been repaired. Where you first thought this was a hoarder's hut, you see now that Cirillo is almost like a restorer of things of interest or broken items, or as Susan said, he is an enchanter in whatever form that may take.
Does that mean like, does that include like weapons?
I think you would see some weapons, but they don't look as stunning as some of the other pieces that Cirillo has worked on, for example.
Interesting.
He's an odd dude.
Can I, I assume like the group is just figuring out the whole salt situation, how to cope with it.
Oh, did we? Oh,
Yeah, I guess we didn't. What was it?
It's Dennis.
Hey, yes,
it's me.
that's what we gotta do. Sir Basil pulls out, because he has still in his possession a ivory carved pipe and the many tales of Jovel the Bard. And kind of offers them to Cirillo and asks, by chance, what might I be able to trade for these? And he hands them the 2 trinkets.
Okay, hold on. I have to flip to some pages here. So you hand them up as everyone's trying to build Dace a yoke, I think.
We're not building him a yoke.
Okay.
He's getting yoked.
He's getting yoked. Okay, is that what the kids are saying these days? All right. And as this is going on, you walk up to Cirillo with these two items. And he kind of just regards each of them in your hand. He'll pick up the book first and foremost. And this book is not in the best condition. You found it kind of in a moldy sack in the cave.
Okay.
But he'll just start flipping through it casually, close it and hand it back to you. This is children's tales.
Hmm.
It looks like the owner had some interesting comments around it, but it's a children's book. Writings are fanatical. That, however, and he'll gesture to the pipe that you have, kind of hold out his hand to take it.
Sir Basil kind of like reluctantly kind of like and just holds it up to him.
He'll grab and kind of look it over. You see him sort of tracing around it as he studies it. And then you see this kind of, it's actually a little bit of a scary grin because you see like the canines of his Vulcan. And you hear once more this growl in his chest. This was one of my old trinkets from a very long time ago. Interesting that it made its way back here. It's quite a fun little party trick if you ever need a distraction. If you're curious, you can't smoke anything with this pipe, but if you take some time to study it and wish to utilize it, you'll find that it blows almost an endless amount of bubbles that you can shape to any shape you wish. Within reason, of course. Should you wish to trade it back, I have a trinket of equal value that you may find intriguing.
Interesting. Magic bubbles. Sir Basil asks, what's so like holding the pipe? He asks, what's so special about bubbles?
He'll take the pipe back from you without waiting for you to give it to him, and he'll just blow on this pipe, this big long breath. And you see all of these bubbles start to fill into his hut. And as he waves his hand around, they turn into kind of the bubble version of you. He waves his hand again and they turn into the bubble version of Apoc. Waves his hand one more time and it turns into Dace. Just these outlines in bubbles. And he waves both of his hands at the same time and they disperse so that they're all kind of sitting throughout this room, equidistance apart.
Wow.
Pop the closest one and hand it back to you. That's what's special about bubbles.
When he like spread the bubbles out, did we notice that like the bubbles were they just like, were they interacting with physical space? Like, could a bubble lift something?
You didn't see him try to lift anything, but you did see when it made contact with surfaces, it popped.
Were they life size?
So he pulled a bunch of bubbles like this big. He
Gotcha.
pulled them together, not to make one big bubble, but to make like a Lego thing almost of you all.
Like a Michelin Man version. of
Yes,
it.
you think you.
So does that mean that if I were to make a giant bubble around a bag of salt, I couldn't, the bag of salt wouldn't just like float?
No, it would not. They're bubbles.
Okay.
The pipe is magic. The bubbles are not.
Okay.
So I don't know if we want to get these salt wet.
True. Very true. What do you think? Should I keep it or should I trade it?
What are you trading it for?
I don't know.
Oops. No, go back in.
Trade.
The pipe.
You have the pipe? The pipe is
The
yours?
pipe is mine.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Magic.
Okay, Sir Basil, after seeing the display, kind of like looks at it, smiles, and just like tucks it back in his bag and says, "Perhaps I'll hold on to it for now."
Give you a little nod. Is there anything else I can do for you all while you're here, or will you be on your way to give Susan my regards?
Sir Basil looks at the group.
We all good? Man, Cyrus has been outside for a long time. Should we go find him?
We on our way. Thank you, Cirillo. Sir Basil kind of like bows and like turns and walks out the door.
Mrs. Q holds back as everyone else makes it out of the door, assuming that Cirillo's still sitting in his seat, right? By the fireplace. She walks over to stand next to him, not necessarily looking at him, just sort of like staring into the empty fireplace. And she like clears her throat and the fireplace lights up. And one of the shutters closest to where they're standing opens just a little bit to let some light in. And she just stares at the fire and she says, when you get to my age, there are some secrets that just are more precious than anything you could own. But I'll give you this one for free. And she takes a cookie out of her bag and hands it to him. And she says, the secret is nutmeg. And she turns around and walks out.
Jesus.
That's amazing.
Heavy to go down. I was like, oh.
Do you have inspiration, Georgina? Because if not, you should take it for that.
Yeah, I haven't used mine yet. So
All right.
can I give away inspiration if I already have it? Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah, sure. Sure. Why not? Let's go crazy with the inspiration.
I give the inspiration to Cyrus for his, kicking the guy in the balls telepathically, because I appreciated that.
Yeah, you didn't know what happened, but yeah, for sure. That was a scary moment from my perspective. Not from Cirillo's, but that was fierce.
Andrea doesn't like confrontation.
No, man, I'm fine with confrontation. It's just I need volume on my side. Oh, okay. All right, you.
I was nodding in agreement.
You all make your way out of Cirillo's hut, one cookie less, and you're back out into the sunshine, back onto that boardwalk. Boardwalk, that's the word. Boardwalk. Boardwalk. With your 200 pounds of salt in your fear dammy bags. I don't actually know who's carrying the bags, but I'm assuming you guys sorted it out with all the pictures I can see on Sean's screen.
Dace is carrying one. And I think it's between Cyrus and Sir Basil
Okay.
on the other.
I was carrying Dace's stuff, and I thought he was carrying like all of them.
Oh, I thought Sir Basil was also carrying a bag.
Between the two.
Sure, I can carry however many.
It's fine.
Yeah.
There's more than enough of you to handle the weight of this now that you have bags. It was going to be a lot harder if you didn't have those bags with you.
Yeah.
But you do have your salts. All of you made it out of Cirillo. About an hour and a half-ish has passed in this time. So it is, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, more or less. But you're heading back up northwards, back to Marshview. Is there anything you want to do in this town?
How much time or how many days left?
My cam day tracker is at 2. You have 8 days left.
Oh, okay. I thought we had 2 days left. I was like,
Making good time.
making good time.
Did we want to stop by the orchard and see Apoc's family on our way through?
We can if you'd like. We can spend the night there.
What if they ask about him?
Then I'll say hi.
Yeah.
No, about Cam.
Are you asking if we have to explain Cam?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell him the truth, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like he's dead. We're bringing him back.
Yeah, we're gonna season him back to life.
I don't know if it's worth telling people Cam's dead until we know he's gone.
Making a giant salt bath bomb, essentially.
Yeah. Oh my God! Think about how wrinkly his skin's gonna be.
It's gonna be gross.
Wow, I really hope this attempt to bring him back works. Otherwise, these jokes are.
I mean, it's gonna work, right? Right, Mrs. Q? You do magic. You do magic.
Not this kind of magic, dear. But we can do our very best and use all the inspiration we have.
Yeah, it's gonna work. I know it's gonna work. Yeah, we can head to the orchard. There's some cool stuff around there. You guys can see number 1.
Or log number 1.
Or log number 1.
Let's do it. Let's pilgrimage.
It's not that far.
As you finish up this conversation, you realize you've walked straight through Marshview and are now at the doors to Apoc's Orchard, north of the city. It's a small town. It's not big, guys.
Pilgrimage complete. Knock, knock. Wait, I live here. I don't need to knock. We walk in.
You walk in.
We-
Yeah, you walk in and both your parents are there. They're kind of sitting in their living room with a glass of iced, what you know to be cider,
Mhm.
Apoc, since you are in Apple Orchard.
We should have made cider
And
tonight.
we should have. And they're taking their afternoon break from their work in the trees.
Just like opening the doors, they yell, "I'm home. Gonna be here for a short time, but a good time."
You hear your mother like let out a little bit of a gasp as she recognizes your voice and then just comes like barreling down the hall to give you just a big hug.
But I'm not friends.
I look over to Mrs. Q. I've been living in a cave for 30 odd years, and I thought I was socially awkward.
She chuckles.
What are you doing back?
I mean, on a quest?
You mean you haven't made it to Alderheart yet?
Nope. Kind of hit a snag, but we're gonna head up there.
Okay, that's good.
I just introduced everybody.
It's nice to see you all again. You're new. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, he's a quack.
I'm Octavia, I'm Apoc's mom, and this is Bartleby. Pleasure. So good to have you all here. It's good to know you're safe. We were worried about you for some time. It's only been a week.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a long week
It's
though.
been a long week, you guys, but it's only been a week since you left Meadowfen.
Crazy.
No way. Wow.
I mean, it's good to be. I'm gonna show him around the place. We might stay the night, might not. I don't know. We haven't really talked about it, but I figured stock up on some apples, tour the orchard. I mean, you guys hungry?
Wait,
Probably.
where is Camembert? You left with him in Meadowfen.
Yeah, Cam's he's busy up north of here. We're gonna meet back up with him in a week or in a couple days.
We needed to be separated for a day or so because Cam was feeling a little salty.
You can make it an advantage if Mrs. Q is helping you.
I mean, oh, it's better. It's a 16.
In her joy to see you, Octavia kind of just accepts it. And, "Right, well, as long as he's doing well, it's nice. It'll be nice to have him over for some cider. Haven't seen him in a while, so. But yes, we'll prepare you some drinks. Do your thing. If there's anything you want to do on this orchard,
Mhm.
go for it.
Do you guys want to stock up? Dace, get some apples.
Yeah. Show me the process.
I mean, I just take him out back and then like point at the trees. And, I mean, this is kind of where I practice, right? Like I just pull out my bow, aim up at one of the trees, and just like launch an arrow straight through a stem, and you see it fall to the ground. Training grounds, am I right? I don't know what else to show you guys. There's, I mean, all the different varieties. We've got Honeycrisp, we've got Spartans, we've got Galas. I'm assuming the apples in this world are the same as our world.
Just start making up names and they'll be canon. Go for it.
We've got zebrafish apples.
go.
They're
Love it.
weird. I mean, you cut them in half and they grow back.
Well,
No,
That
that's
seems
not
weird.
canon. That's too out there.
That seems really cost effective.
Like, well,
I'll roll with it. This world is magic. Yeah, you cut an apple in half and it grows back. Sure, why not? Love it.
We call those ones Cinderella apples. Don't eat them. Poisonous.
Snow White?
No, I don't know who Snow White is.
Okay.
Cinderella is this old fairy tale that we have in this world where she got kidnapped by a bunch of gnomes, ate an apple, and then
I've heard of those. They're the ones that taste like pumpkin spice.
exactly. But I mean, don't eat them. Nobody likes pumpkin spice. But here's the log, the first spore log. Good
Oh,
old number 1. 10 points to anybody who can figure out the function.
One Apoc. Crossbow pointing at a target.
it's a target of some kind.
Yeah, there's an apple in between.
Oh, it's a Cora.
It's a core. I
That's
knew you'd get
sweet.
it.
That is one way to core an apple. Mr. Q like looks at it and like claps her hands a little bit and like gives him a little pat on the back and said, "Oh, that's a very good idea."
I don't know if it's to Apoc or to me.
To both.
Nice.
What time of year is it right now? Like, are the apples on the trees or are they blooming or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a late summer kind of situation. So there are still apples on the trees. I don't know, Cinderella apples maybe. The ones that are good for making cider. There's apples on the trees.
Cool.
Apoc can show you to the ones that are edible.
You better brush up on your apple processing. I'm going to ask a lot of questions.
We'll just skip over. We'll just say it happened.
And we
happened.
spend a couple hours there. We shoot the shit all night. We
Good.
show
Love
you
it.
tour the facilities where we get the new trees, the sprouts that we take to market for those who want to grow their own apples at home. You've got your bundling facilities where it's literally just like a big pot, and underneath there's a rope and this like contraption that's laid out that you spin the wheel and it folds the nets over enough that it kind of ties itself. It's very like not simplified, but you can tell there's probably a better way, and they're probably using way more rope than they need, but it works.
And a lovely evening it is going on.
Yes.
That. No, I love it. Unless there's anything else you guys wanted to do at this orchard, I'm assuming you're staying the night.
Do you guys want to stay the night?
What time is it now?
So it was about 3:30, 3:45 when you guys got to Apoc's home. I'm assuming you spent all afternoon there going through all of that. So it would probably be like, like around this time in the evening.
Ooh,
Probably, maybe we can stay the night then. That way we don't we're not trying to cross the river in the dark.
that's true.
It took us 2 days to get down here, right? Essentially.
Well,
Or
you
a day and a half?
You left Susan's around mid-afternoon, stayed the night at the bridge, and then
Yeah.
it took you another half day. So it could be a day's journey.
Okay. I say we stay the night then.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
have
night, yeah.
Go to bed early, wake up at the crack of dawn, and then head out.
Sure.
All right, so you can all take a long rest then, if that's the plan. If there's anything you guys want to do, you're welcome to, or we can fast forward to the next morning and you heading out.
I'd like to get up at the apple crisp of dawn, if that works for everybody.
I appreciate that.
You know, in this world, we've got an apple named Crack. You could have used that one.
Jesus. All right, so, sorry? Oh, I thought I heard something. Nope, just hearing things. You all awaken at the apple crisp of dawn. I'm gonna use that from now on. And Octavia and Bartleby do wake up in time with you to see you off, Apoc. And as they're kind of giving each of you a hug, they're very friendly and giving you a big hug, Apoc. They kind of hold you at arm's length and just say, okay, now I want you home as soon as you can. Be careful. I've heard the bandits are getting braver.
Oh, man.
And stay away from the mountains. There's been a lot of attacks happening there, from what I've heard.
The mountains?
Please just promise me you'll be safe.
You know how much I like the mountains.
I know, but please just be safe.
But like
All of you.
the bandits are getting bad.
There's been rumors of bandit attacks along the road and strange rumors about winged attacks. Not birds, or sorry, not bird folk, different, up in the mountains. So if you can avoid those areas, all of you, please just be careful and come back for some cider, okay?
I take Apoc by the hand and start dragging him along and say, don't worry, we'll look after him.
Be safe.
Oh, I forgot one thing. Any chance I can get my allowance? It's been a week.
Yes, here you go, done.
How much money?
Oh my gosh. I will make something up at the break.
Fair.
Which actually, as you all set off, we'll take a break. Oh my goodness. Just a couple minutes, grab cookies if you want, and we will be back.
Do you want a cookie?
Do I want a cookie? What a good question.
up the Final Fantasy stuff. It looks pretty cool.
The first, like A Realm Reborn is the first part of the story. Kind of slow, very tedious. But as soon as you get to the first expansion, it's fan-fucking-tastic. Amazing storytelling, and it just builds from there.
What made you switch from WoW to Final Fantasy?
A couple of the streamers that I watched that played WoW started
like that
rating in it.
Asmon.
No, I'm at Asmon's all right. I don't like his streams, but I think he's an all right person. I don't watch him, but I watch some of the other like high-end world first raiders, like
Gotcha.
Via, Limit Max, A2D Max. They're all named Max,
All right.
but they play it, so it's very
Okay.
good.
I'll keep on looking into it.
And Blizzard sucks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is so sad to say after like so much of my childhood was like StarCraft.
Oh, I love StarCraft.
Oh yeah,
Goodness.
everyone wants to get back into it though.
Blizzard is not worth any more of my thoughts.
No. But if you guys do play StarCraft 2, let me know.
No, don't go back to it. They're not worth your time or money. You think I'm kidding. I'm not.
No,
right.
it's yeah.
Back into more fun things than that. You set off with your salt in tow, an interesting pipe that blows bubbles, and you set off during the day on a trek that you.
Sorry, it's my laptop.
Oh jeez.
Oh,
I don't know how to make it
That was
stop
like
dinging.
that was really loud.
My phone went off at the same time.
I thought that was the fire alarm or something outside. Jeez. Okay.
Sorry.
Is everything all right?
I don't know how to turn it off.
It was just her sister.
Yeah. All right. You decided to set off in the morning, which is great, on a track that you completed yesterday. So finding your way back through the swamp is going to be a little easier now that you know kind of where you already traveled. And it's bright out and you don't have to worry about challenges faced in the dark. That being said, it's just to make sure that you can all still follow the trail, at least up into the river. I'd like survival checks from all of you, please.
Survival checks. You first.
17.
7.
Oh,
The ranger.
an
I'm
8.
good with survival.
Okay, so 3, 17, 7. Basil, Mrs. Q.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
An 8.
Okay. Well, Dace and Mrs. Q seem to be taking the lead on this, even though Dace is carrying 200 pounds of salt or less. And yeah, with those rolls, you're able to bring the group along, no problems had. It's a beautiful day out. And after you've been walking for the majority of the morning, as it comes time to around lunch, you do start hearing the sound of rushing water. And you come up to this natural bridge that you found the very first time. It was much easier getting there this time now that you knew what to expect and how to trek through. And now that the sun is out and you see this bridge and have crossed it once, you are unfortunately still faced with the same problem you had before of how to cross it safely, this time with 200 extra pounds in tow.
Because it was kind of like a rickety bridge, right?
So it was a natural bridge of a giant trunk that had fallen.
Oh,
over
okay.
this, like huge, I think I said at the time it was like 50 meters across this river. It's huge. And the waters underneath are like white water, roaring and rapids.
I go across and with shape water dry off the log.
Yeah,
Ooh.
absolutely.
Cool.
To help everyone's footing for sure.
Do we
Did
want
you split the water?
It's not. I can't do it through. I can only do like a little pocket, so I'm just gonna go across and dry off as I go. I can't split the water altogether.
Oh, okay.
do we want to shoot the rope across again like a railing?
Sure. I mean, we can just give it to Cyrus when he walks across the first time.
That's true. That's true.
So Cyrus, if you are going to be carrying a rope with you and moving across, I am still going to need a roll. It will be easier because of all the precautions you are taking, but it will be athletics, or if you can make a very good case for acrobatics, I will allow you to use that.
Athletics it is. All right, 10.
Okay, 10 was what you needed to pass. Drawing off the log definitely makes it significantly easier to get through. And as you go kind of waddling along and carrying the rope with you, you do have enough rope to make it and tie it to the other side, and you now have that handrail, same as before. So with both Cyrus drawing the log and this handrail, it seems like it might be much easier to cross, even with the 200 pounds of salt. Who would like to make the attempt next?
Here he goes.
All right. So same as last time, it'll be athletics or a very good case for acrobatics. And it'll be at advantage because of the rope. And the DC is going to be lower because of the dry bark. Unless you're dancing across this log, I'm going to say it'll probably be an athletics roll.
I think so too. It's only +1s.
It is at advantage because of the rope.
So
Oh.
twice. So it's not moon plus what?
Nothing. 17.
Yeah, no problems at all. Miss Q, you make it through. Who's going next?
I'll go next. Yeah, 15.
You're good. Jason, Basil.
I guess
Which one of you has more weight here?
I thought it's 50-50.
50-50.
Oh,
Cyrus, you're carrying Dace's stuff though.
Right.
All right. So with the added weight, if you're splitting it 50-50, it's not going to be too difficult for you guys either. But who's heading out next?
I can go.
Go for it.
I feel
Advantage.
okay. Here's my case for acrobatics. That because I'm such a small gerbil, it's like I'm balancing with the weight.
Acrobatics is more like your dexterity to sneak between places or flip over walls. So unless you're doing something along those lines, which is why I said a very good case,
Okay,
it'll be an athletics roll.
sure, athletics.
Like if you're monkey barring it underneath, for example.
That would be a 21.
Yeah, you're good.
And
You can do it, Days.
Oh, never mind.
Right?
19.
That scared me for a second.
All the salt gone.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
Cam.
even with your added weight, you guys are good. That was going to be a little bit trickier, but no problem at all. Dace, unless you untied or took the rope with you, you do lose these 3 lengths of rope that you have spanning across this 50 meter chasm.
I yell out to the group, do we need this rope?
5 more.
I have rope.
All right,
Leave it for the next people.
we'll be there for the next people.
If I remember correctly, though, it was made with my rope. I had the extra rope I picked up from like that satchel we found.
Yeah, you had a lot of extra rope.
I have 50 feet, so I mean I'll get rid of my 50 feet because I know I used it.
I'll get rid of mine as well.
I have a rope.
I had 2.
Has 2 hit points and can be burst with. Oh, and can be burst. Okay.
So you are now across the bridge. I never thought of rope having hit points before, but yeah, that makes sense. You've now made it across the bridge. Now you're in the thick of the swamp, as thick as it can get. The trees here, you're back into that old growth forest as you try and navigate farther south to start heading west back towards Susan's hut. You know the general direction that you're going, and carrying over your survival rules from before, you can find yourself there, but the terrain is much harder, and the swamp becomes much denser as you move. And for the second half of this journey, I do need someone to give me an adventure roll to see if there's anything that delays you in this thick part of the swamp.
What would you roll for an adventure roll?
Someone just needs to roll me a d20.
Do it, Days.
All right.
Take the blame.
A 2.
All you know at 2 is like the best option.
Never make a 2.
A 2?
A 2.
Bless you.
I need you to roll me a d4.
Me? Okay.
That's never good.
Roll a 1. This is where you want to roll low.
A 1.
Oh, boo. Okay.
Boo.
All right. As you guys are walking along, and it starts to, as these trees start to become taller and taller, their branches thicker and thicker, and the mud underneath your boots starts to become more and more sticky moving through. You get just swarmed and attacked by gnats. They're annoying, they're in your face, they're in your nose, they're in your eyes. And for the better part of this afternoon and into, the super early evening as you walk, you spend your time swatting these flies away, just trying to take a breath without swallowing half of this swarm. It sucks. It's super annoying. And as you're all trying to travel and go through these gnats in the swamp, unless you're doing anything, Cyrus.
I would think these would drive me so nuts, and I would start panicking, and my anxiety would go through the roof. And all of a sudden you'd see Cyrus kind of crack, and a wave, just a wave of force leaving kind of his head as he just is holding his head, trying to block the gnats as it blows out from him, a thunder wave, trying to take care of these gnats.
A thunder wave?
Yes.
Is there a save on that for the rest of your party?
Constitution 14.
All right, everybody make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Not advantage.
23.
Good.
Fail.
19.
17.
Apoc, take my inspiration to reroll that.
Fail. Wait, it's a 12.
14.
Yeah.
9 points of force damage thunder damage. Last time, trying to blow these gnats away.
All
4,
right.
half as much, so 4 for everybody else.
Okay.
4.
Everyone else takes 4. Apoc, you're at 9. If it fails, they get blasted back, right?
Yeah. 10 feet.
I guess it's a good thing he wasn't carrying any salt.
Yeah. Apoc, you just get, I don't know if you're in front of Cyrus or behind him, but you just get blasted back from him, your ears ringing with this clap of thunder, and you land really hard on your back in the swamp.
I also like to think that he doesn't control that. It just happens.
What the hell?
I'm sorry. Just these things happen sometimes. It's not something I can control.
You gotta learn to love the gnats.
I imagine Sir Basil being alarmed, kind of runs over and tries to comfort Cyrus, but because he's got this big pack of salt, he's probably reaching up. So he only reaches, how tall is Cyrus?
5 foot.
So he only reaches up to Cyrus's knee or thigh, and then the salt is just hitting him in the stomach. Don't worry, it's okay.
Love it.
I am seeing that the cause of what just happened was because of the gnats. I don't know if this is going to work, so you can tell me if it doesn't. Mrs. Q goes over to Cyrus and sort of helps him up again and like links him to the arm or to her arm and casts thaumaturgy for the smell of citronella to try and like keep the
Ooh.
gnats away from him,
I
seeing
like
as he
that.
seems to not cope so well. And as they keep walking, she also casts Goodberry and hands 5 berries to Apoc as they finally catch up with him after he got like blasted a little further away. So you heal 5 hit points.
Thanks, Mrs. Q.
The gnats most definitely died in the thunder wave. Like they just drop dead kind of deal. They're gnats, they have like half a hit point. But yeah, the smell of citronella will definitely help you from being attacked by further gnats. So that was very smart. And you heal Apoc up a bit. So you are a decently smelling bunch as you continue your way through, no longer bothered by the gnats, thanks to Mrs. Q and thanks to Cyrus's thunder wave, which would have ended up maybe not working out in your favor if that hadn't happened. Sorry, love.
Oh, it's okay.
Not for you.
You know, gnats aren't always bad. I just want to harp on Cyrus. You just gotta, I don't know, embrace it. Like, yeah, they're buzzy. Yeah, they fly around your head, but I mean, you can always befriend them. You can always try to work with them instead of against them. You never know.
I think that's where we'll have to defer. Or agree to disagree. Disagree to agree to disagree. You enjoy your bugs. I can't stand them.
Can't stand them. All right. But if you see him in the future, let's not have the first reaction be to explode, please.
Like I said, I can't control that.
All right. For the last couple hours of your journey, no longer bothered by the insects of this swamp, if there's any conversations you want to have or things you want to say, things you want to do, you're welcome to do that now. But you will not be bothered for the remainder of your journey into the mid-evening before you arrive back at Susan's hut. All right. Hearing none.
Are you gonna say something
I just can't remember the full story.
of his arm?
Yep. Can you give me a Cole's notes on what was the whole story about the shriveled arm or the
hand?
Yeah.
Apoc saw a scary, spooky thing. His skin and hair turned white. Now has hand to protect him and ward off evil spirits.
A talisman of sorts kind of deal, right?
Yeah, essentially. Or so he believes, at least. There's no scientific evidence towards it. Otherwise, the fact that he hasn't seen ghosts since.
As Mrs. Q is kind of sticking with Cyrus so that the smell is strongest around him, she asks, so what is it that took you or caused you to move into a cave full of scary slimes? Was there something outside the cave that you considered significantly worse?
Well, I made the cave I made the cave my home. It's just a place that seemed to be safe out from the elements. And I don't know, it was just quiet and cool and damp down there. And that's why I traveled down there. You see, I wasn't welcome in town. Just had a roof over my head. That's all I was looking for.
Miss Quillam says she just touched. She goes, Well, if anything like that ever happens again next time, you just come stay with me.
Out of curiosity, why'd you come with us? Why'd you leave up your cave?
It's been a long time since I left, and like I said, it's a bit of an adventure. Hoping to see a little bit more of the world, and figured you guys can protect me while we change things up a bit. Got to see Susan again. It's been a while, and it's nice to see a friendly face for a change. It's awfully lonely down there. You guys-
Sorry?
You guys turned out to be all right, so hopefully we can help get your friend back on his feet.
As that conversation finishes up, you arrive at Susan's front door in the early twilight of the evening.
All right, Daisy, here's another shot. You can try this door.
I'll let sir, how do you say your name again? Sorry,
Cyrus.
Cyrus. Yeah, I'll let Cyrus try it this time since he's never done it.
I walk up to the door, I turn the handle and open it properly. It's not.
No.
It's-
Not locked.
I take the door, I close it again, and I'm like, you have to knock first and then enter. It's rude to just walk in. You have to knock first.
I'm already inside, so you're seeing it.
That's amazing. This is gonna be a thing and I love it. All right, yeah, Cyrus just walks straight up inside. Cyrus, you actually do walk into kind of a darkened hut, and you see you see Susan and Normal sort of huddled in like an armchair in the living room where you slept on the floor a couple days ago, just kind of dozing. There is the table that Apoc had fixed up with the moss and the sap after it was unfortunately broken upon your first arrival at Susan's hut now has a cute little doily on it with a little vase, a chip taken out of the top, and a single like pink carnation just in it, freshly placed in the time you've been gone. But since you didn't knock, Susan is dozing.
Is Kina still there too? Are we all in? Does somebody
Oh
know?
yeah, Kina's dozing too. That's easier.
Okay.
This is why you don't knock. You don't want to wake anybody up. Sleep is precious.
This is why you do knock, and I knock, hoping to wake up everyone.
Yeah, when you knock, you see both Susan and Kina jump, and you actually hear this like high-pitched squeal from Normal, the little beetle familiar, and he kind of like jumps and runs around the armchair to hide behind it as Susan kind of like
Can I like
awake.
if you guys don't mind, can I go to Kina and say, oh, don't worry, don't want to wake you up. Feel free to sleep. And I accidentally cast sleep on her.
Oh,
Yeah, that'll definitely work.
Let's see.
As long as you roll higher than like a 5, you're good.
Yeah, that's
I think
like
it's like 64, like 66 or
Oh
something.
yeah, no, Kina has like no hit points.
like 20, 26, 27.
Oh yeah. She was up for a second, you tapped her on the shoulder and she just conks back to sleep.
Again, it's not something I can control. I just like, oh, don't worry, you can go back to bed, and accidentally like just
Yeah.
cause her to sleep.
Yeah, she was up for a second and back down again. But Susan kind of like shakes herself awake and kind of stands up and holds her hand out, realizing it's all kind of you guys just sitting there. You made it back. Are you all okay? Are you unharmed? Don't wake Kina, Cyrus. She's been sleeping very well the past couple nights.
So Basil kind of like takes off his backpack and like kind of shows, we've got the salt.
Okay, that's good. Oh, poor Eric. Okay, come with me, come with me. Your friend is still in this room. All of you, leave Kina be, she'll be fine. Normal, you watch Kina. And you see as Normal just kind of like curls up next to Kina, his little pincers awake now that he knows that it's you, Cyrus. And if you all enter the second room that Susan has in her hut, you do still see that cauldron with Camembert still laying inside.
Naked Camembert.
No, you did not take all of his clothes. You talked about it, but you didn't. I listened before this episode. And you do see that Susan has apparently just put as many fragrant flowers, carnations, roses, everything she could possibly find in this room just to make it a little bit more peaceful. But the smell just hits you of this floral bouquet. And she kind of ushers you all in, lights a lantern, and closes the door as gently as she can to not wake Kina in the next room. So you have the salt. Do you have all of it? Did it all make it? We need every speck.
Yes.
Yeah, it's here.
Oh,
All 200.
You didn't specify, but is it okay we got kosher salt?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. Magic is not that specific. Hurry. We have a couple more days, but there's no time to waste, so. She kind of grabs Apoc's hand, knowing that you were the one that brought Cam in 2 days ago. It's going to be okay.
Okay.
You boys dump the salt in as even as you can, right over top of your friend.
I assume like maybe we like pour it all so that you just see Cam's face poking through.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, Cam's favorite crime was breaking and entering, but this feels more like assault.
oh my gosh.
Just right.
No one? Really?
Dennis, I live with this.
Oh, this is amazing.
Oh my.
I'm just gonna make some notes.
Oh boy,
We'll see what happens.
Cam might not be coming back. Wouldn't be the first time I've killed someone with a pun.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be. That's the sad thing. After all the salt is in to the cauldron, you see Susan kind of evening it out as best she can. And she just sort of looks at all of you. Okay, this is going to take some time, but I'll start the ritual now. It might take about an hour, and you can all help in this case. Remember I said that we needed the earth to remember your friend? Well, if you have memories or things you want to say, that can help the process. But you can decide who wants to say it. And Susan sort of lifts her hands up in a sweeping motion and kind of pulls some of the fire from the lanterns and candles that she lit along the room. And even though there's no wood or kindling or anything under the cauldron, as the flames move to touch the cauldron itself, you see those carved flames, the ones that had been inlaid into this obsidian cauldron, just start to glow with that deep red of the coals of a fire. And as the cauldron starts to heat up and heat up and heat up, you start to kind of smell the sweetness of the flowers mixing with the smell of fire. And Susan just sort of steps back and holds her hand and just starts to murmur under her breath. The ritual has started. Would someone like to make the first offering?
I'll say,
Did we grab any apples?
yeah, so, okay, so
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll let you go.
Like, Sir Basil walks up and he pulls from his pouch the apple that Apoc shot when he was like saying like, oh yeah, like what's the process? Oh, you just target practice. Shot that apple. Sir Basil actually takes out that exact apple and no one realized that he actually took it. And can he, because I remember we like took off his bag and I remember placing his hat because Sir Basil was holding his hat, putting it on the bag. Can Sir Basil take his hat, Cam's like bowler hat, put the apple in it and just talk about like, he always did manage to find an apple in his hand. And kind of like, you can see he's like kind of like holding back tears and he kind of like offers up the hat of like, with the apple in it. I was just like, one of his fondest memories of like when they would like steal apples from Dace.
All right. So if you are trying to persuade Camembert's soul to come back to his body, I need you to make a persuasion check.
Okay. That's a bad roll for me. Okay. That is a nat 20.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Wow, that's
He's coming.
As you recite these memories, Sir Basil, and just hold on to his hat and hold on to that apple, the flames on the side of the cauldron start to shift in color and turn this deep blue as they become hotter and hotter and hotter. Would like to make the next offering.
I take the apple and I'm like, that's how do you like those apples? And then I give it back to Sir Basil. And then I'm like, thankfully, you'll be cured. As a joke to cooking, when you put salt on food, it's cured.
All right.
That's it.
How do we do
That was
that?
it.
Is there, if you're trying to persuade Cam's soul to come back?
Oh, I'm not. I just wanted to make that joke.
Oh. Inspiration.
Oh man.
All right, Dace makes a joke. You see as Susan's kind of like just murmuring under her breath and holding her hands together, one eye opens to look at you as you said this, little shake of her head, and she continues her prayer.
Miss Quillam steps forward and clears her throat and says, first time I met Cam, he was only small. And I found him with his hand in my basket trying to steal my cookies. And I turned around and saw him with his little face. And I said, dear, if you want a cookie, all you have to do is ask. And he looks up at me with these big eyes. And I take the handkerchief off my cookies and I hand him a cookie. And he smiles at me and scampers away. And never once did he attempt to steal a cookie from me again.
No.
He always just asked. He was a very good boy.
I just imagine like in a very high pitched voice, be like, "You got it, Mrs. Q."
Oh. All right, Mrs. Q, if you are trying to persuade Cam to come back, it will be a harder roll, but I will need a persuasion check.
Inspiration, using my inspiration. Oh, that was worse.
Wait, so did you use inspiration? You had to take the second one. You can't take the highest, right?
Is that how that works? You
I think
take
you can choose what you take, right? With
Yeah.
inspiration, you choose the one you want to take.
okay. In which case, it was a 13.
13.
Mhm.
Okay.
Hmm.
You see the flames around this cauldron as you finish your story shift one more time, and they turn this like radiant purple. The blue of the initial flames mixing in with the pink that your radiant flame takes on when you cast your spells, to this deep, deep indigo purple. who would like to make the last offering?
Yeah, I'll go up. Just like walk up slowly, look down at Cam, and kind of like how Sir Basil did, just pull off my hat and pull it close, the one that Cam and Bear had gave to us. Like what, 3 days ago, 5 days ago, something like that. Not even a week. You always were the best of friends. We shared our fair stories, large quantities of them. Cam always had the quickest hands, you see. It's kind of funny, Miss Q was worried about those cookies. She never really realized what else he took. He had away with that. And at the end of the day, he always made people happy. Don't leave us, buddy.
Yo, he's got to get inspiration for that, man. Yeah, that speech. Whoa.
You know what? That's another good roll. That's an 18 for persuasion.
The purple flames of the cauldron shifts one more time to this white hot flame. You can hear Susan now a little bit louder in her prayer as she calls to her patron to help push this ritual forward. You can smell the flowers in this room, as even though you aren't feeling any heat, it seems that they are, as they start to shrivel and the burning pollen just begins to perfume throughout the hut. And you can see ever so slightly over the white hot flames of this cauldron, the salt beginning to almost shift the way the sea looks before a storm. Camembert, we have a situation that we need to solve. Before the final roll for this resurrection challenge is made, I'm gonna join and we're gonna go into a breakout room to figure it out. I'm gonna go to a different room, my dear.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll talk more Final Fantasy.
Yes, you can talk
Or
more Final
StarCraft,
Fantasy.
one of the two. Georgina, do you want to stay with us or go to a separate room?
That's okay. I'll wait. I can do some cleaning.
You don't want to talk about the most OP race ever, Zerg?
I'm wondering what the best way to do it is, because
I think if you invite Andrea to a breakout room and send us all to a different one, because you have control over it, right?
yeah, I think so.
I'm probably screwing up your recording though, Eric. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I will.
Oh, good thing I'm live viewing this on YouTube, right?
I think he only did that once.
All right, so let's do that. And then do, I think it's me. Okay, let's try this. Join this.
Bye.
They're up.
Yeah. Oh man.
Is that wall like just a huge chalkboard?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We just drawn it for shits.
Damn.
And I have already tagged it.
Yeah. Yeah. Andrew made his mark.
Oh,
Right next to the bore log.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we had them over a couple Saturdays ago, played a couple board games.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Or I guess a board game. Yeah, but we want to have you and Martine over too at some point.
Yeah, I'll have to ask her with her schedule. Like I said, with the new COVID rules, it's so ridiculous. But and then I'm also busy. Well, Georgina would know. Like comps and prospectus is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when is all that for you?
So they're being more, I guess, strict with the timelines because apparently a lot of people are graduating within 5 or 6 years, which I mean totally makes sense for Carleton students because like we had the move. I'm sure Andrea has told you about the move from like to RGM.
Yeah, the lab.
We also
change.
have COVID now that kind of like prolongs research and all that stuff. But yeah, they're like, yeah, you need to do your prospectus by year 2 and then your comps by year 3. And then my supervisor, who is, I guess, the chair of the department now, he told me like he needs to set like a good example for the neuroscience community, saying like, since I'm the chair, I need to push out like students on a like on the path. So I'm just like, oh, jeez, okay.
Like, is comps that bad? Because it's not as experiment based, right?
It's not bad. It's just the whole point of comps is just researching a topic that's outside of your research field and then being able to, I guess, explain it well enough to other scientific
Like you get grilled
members
about it for hours, right?
Yeah. So like my topic right now, I'm thinking is like artificial sweeteners. So like aspartame on infant development.
Okay.
So like since mothers like consume high calorie diets, they might want to switch to like Diet Coke just as a way to control for diet and whatnot.
Okay.
So I want to see whether if there's any literature out there that shows like, I don't know, like newborn mice with smaller brain like development, or like does that result in any cognitive impairments?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
But right now it's tough.
Yeah. Have you started any of that, or is that just?
I've tried to do some literature searches, but it's all about obesity.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. So it is.
Are you able to like narrow it down if you do specific journals?
Ish. Yeah. Like, I've looked at some comps and like they only cite like maybe 5 to 10 papers, which I mean, isn't a lot, but,
Georgina said, what?
yeah.
That's insane.
Right. Yeah.
That's
It's,
not enough.
I thought like you would need like at least 40.
Yeah, I think I had like 3 or 4 pages of just references.
That's what I figured too. But apparently, the way that they set it, they did a meta-analysis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was like, but like I looked at Daniel when he was presenting his comps, his was just like a review paper. So I'm like, what do I do? Do I do it as a review paper or do I do it as like a meta-analysis?
Mine was a review paper.
Yeah. Did you have a certain angle on it?
Yeah, like I picked a topic and like my topic was on NUP still, but I did a review of like everything that came out before the NUP hypothesis was proposed, and then everything that we have learned since the NUP hypothesis was proposed, and then revised the NUP hypothesis. I came up with my own new version of it.
But still a different focus of NARP, right?
Yeah, it was still NUP related because Patrice didn't care. She was like, yeah, just do it something that's, you're into.
Got you.
But you don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a review is probably the easiest.
That's what yeah. And then Matt's like, how's your thesis writing? I'm like, I don't know. Like a lot of people are doing like these, like if you publish papers, technically that's your thesis. But I got 2 more years, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I've got maybe 1, maybe.
Hoping.
It's so nice. You know Caitlin, right? Caitlin Ventura. She graduated with her PhD. She came into the lab because Matt's asking her to finish up a study so they can get published. And
Yeah.
she's like, the grass is so much greener on the other side. I wake up stress-free. I go to a job that I love. I get a consistent paycheck. And I'm like, that sounds like heaven right now.
It really does.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Andrea. Yeah.
we did this to ourselves. We
I
decided
know. Oh,
it's our fault.
right, well, you guys can't be too salty of it.
Oh, boy.
Take going back in then.
Speaking of salt.
All right. There's one final rule to this resurrection. Camembert, can you roll me a d20?
Don't fuck up.
Sacrifice.
Do I add anything to it?
No.
Let's see what it is. Let's see the camera.
A 3?
3.
3. All of you in the room with the smell of flowers in your nose and the sound of Susan's murmuring filling your ears, watch as the cauldron almost seems to start shifting itself, as though the stone has started to melt away. It starts to kind of peel back, and as it does, you watch as it pulls the salt with it, turning the salt into something black as it reshapes itself into this molten, awful, melted looking cauldron. And as it works its way down, revealing Camembert's body lying on the floor, you hear and see it appear back where Susan originally tried to drag it from, across the room. The candles in the room stop flickering, and on the floor in front of you, where the cauldron once held your friend, you see Camembert's body, eyes closed. You watch. You wait. And in a gasping breath, Camembert's eyes open. And instinctively, you see him grab at his right wrist. Camembert, you are alive.
Why am I naked?
He's back.
Welcome back, buddy. Oh, you want an answer to that? Sir Basil, can you explain?
Oh, no, it's okay.
Well, you see is what happened.
Sir Basil, I guess, goes up and tries to help him up, handing him his bowler hat and apple.
All right, so wearing nothing but the bowler hat and holding the apple. Why does everything hurt?
As Basil goes to help you up and grabs onto your right hand and your right wrist, this burning sensation blitzes through your forearm. You look down at your hand, Cam, your naked hand, and your wrist, and you see that some of your fur, I guess, skin on the palm of your hand and around your wrist have burned away.
From where I touched?
So that it looks almost like a burn that's a few days old. A ring around his wrist, almost like a ring around his thumb and the palm of his hand. The rest of him looks fine.
Whoa.
It's not always like that.
Where am I? Where is this place? Who's that lady?
Mrs. Q goes in. Hang on, you're standing up at this point, right?
Oh yeah.
Goes over and gives Cam a quick hug and calls over her shoulder. Susan, dear, do you think maybe we could put the kettle on? I think we have a lot to talk about.
Absolutely. I will get that going right away. Should I send Normal in? Do you want something to cuddle? He's a very good cuddler.
Oh, yes. Let's send Normal in.
She scurries out and Normal comes scurrying in, and the door will kind of click closed behind him.
I
Go
pick
to
up
the first
Normal
person with scritches.
and I hand it to Cam and I say, here, give him a squeeze and you'll feel better, but not too hard.
You have a beetle in your lap.
I just look at it and can I at least put some pants on first?
Don't worry, he doesn't bite.
If he does, that would suck. I guess I take the beetle off your lap and we find you some clothes.
Yeah, Sir Basil runs out to where we put his bag and everything and brings it in.
Yeah, I get promptly dressed and turn back again. How did we get here? Last time I saw, we were in the swamp and there was that creature that we were fighting, and I try to step in to protect Mrs. Q and Apoc, and that's all I remember.
You don't remember anything after that?
No.
You got knocked out pretty hard.
Do
We had to
you
rush you
remember
to the
anything
nearest-
before?
Yeah, I remember we were going in to find a slime, and I think we got to that room where we found it. Did you get it at least? Do we have a haul? Something that would make this trip worthwhile? Mrs. Key, you brought me back to health, right? Like I just got knocked out.
I can't take credit for this one, dear.
Sir Basil says, you fought very bravely, and because of that, we were able to rescue Kina and defeat the slime. But I'm afraid the slime was too strong, and we lost you in that battle. And you can see that he kind of like chokes up when saying it, because he's just like remembering back to the sight of like Cam just dropping this in the battle.
Oh, you're back. You're back.
As these words are kind of coming up in conversation, Cam, you hear protect Apoc, rescue. They're kind of swirling almost in whispers. Protect Apoc, rescue in your mind. Eternal forest, wayward souls, mix in.
Eternal forest.
You don't hear this. This
I
is in
know.
Cam's mind.
This is Sean saying this.
Cool. Yeah, got it.
Damn. Hey Cam, do me a favor. You know, like you're a quiet guy, you sneak around a lot. Next time you go unconscious, could you be a little bit louder about it? We didn't even notice.
There's a lot of things going on at the same time and try to do my best, but if I'm knocked out, I can't really control that. I don't plan on happening again.
Scared us.
At
Sir
this
Basil goes
point,
in for a big group hug.
Yeah.
at this point, Susan will bustle in with the tea from the kitchen and just start handing out mugs and putting a blanket around Cam. And I've only done that once before. You might feel a little woozy. It'll take some time to get your strength back, my dear, but you'll be okay. Your friends really care about you.
Oh, you haven't even met him. Cam. This is Cyrus. Found him in the cave.
Yeah, he's introduced me. He's been speaking telepathically to me. You guys just can't hear it.
Oh, well done.
Bummer.
Unless there's anything else you guys wanted to talk about, it is late at night by now. By the time you finish your tea, catch up with Cam, you can see the toll that the ritual has taken on him. He doesn't look the greatest to be brought back from the dead. But unless there's anything you want to talk about, Susan will kind of make sure you're all tucked in for bed.
Would I know, given my knowledge of magic, whether this type of magic would bring Cam back with like 0 health?
Or like some type of after effect or something.
I think, yeah, it does have some stuff.
Yeah, I can. It's going to be a few days before I'm back to normal.
Yeah, I think there's a few like ability score issues.
Yeah, I got to keep track. It's like I'm like lower strength and like my actual stats are lower until I get to full health.
Yeah.
And you have exhaustion too, I think.
A whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's a whole
lot.
bunch of stuff or something
Yeah.
like this. It's an ordeal.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Andrea. I'll take care of it.
Yeah. I'm assuming you would.
Yeah.
But yeah, he doesn't look great. He's exhausted. He's tired.
Let's just say I shouldn't be fighting for the next like week.
Yeah.
I asked because I'm wondering, would Miss Quillam give the 5 additional good berries to him right now, or would that have 0 effect?
That'd work.
As opposed to like a long rest type thing.
No, like if he comes back but he's at 0, then it might
Oh.
be beneficial to like give him something. Just
Might-
I think he's at like 1 hit point.
Might
You're
stub
gone.
his toe and die again.
Yeah.
All right.
I hand him the 5 good berries that I have remaining, and I tell him, we had to give Apoc 5 of these good berries earlier. You should ask him. It's a good story.
Will do. Thank you so much.
It's good to have you back. Gives him a little tap on the head.
I didn't go anywhere, but sounds like I did.
And with that, you're all able to tuck in for bed. Warm tea in your tummy, still covered in mud, unfortunately. But that's a tomorrow problem. For now, you have your friend back. And as you all just start to kind of curl up, drift off to sleep, each and every one of you.
I imagine Sir Basil probably like would sleep near the foot of wherever Cam is. Just almost like to be a little protective, just sleeps close by.
All right. Apoc,
Oh, yeah.
as you drift off to sleep, knowing that your friend is safe and alive once more, you rest easy on the floor of Susan's hut. And you wake in what you know to be a dream. You're back in the meadow from all those years ago. Flowers blooming around you, the grass, this vivid green that shouldn't be in the natural world. The fungus on the sides of these trees in the swamp, beautiful. Blues, whites, purples, pinks, every color you could possibly imagine, and some you can't. The air crackling with that energy in this meadow from so many years ago. And as you take in the sight, remembering the happy part of being in this meadow, the snack you found, the delicious fruit that you know was here when you wandered. You see a fog start to exit and invade into the meadow, draining everything it touches, turning it to light. As it starts to rush towards you, is there anything you want to do?
I just want to run away from the fog. run away as fast as I can.
You turn and you bolt into the woods, away from the meadow, away from the creeping wall of white as it starts to extend towards you. You run until your legs can't carry you any farther, until your heart feels like it's going to explode from your chest. You fall to your knees, turn around, the fog's not there. You're in trees that you recognize the color of, back in a place that you know to be safe. And you hear a voice that you don't remember hearing before. I found you. And that's where we'll end
Jesus.
until the new year.
Ugh, that's so creepy.
Wow.
And you all level up because it's been a while.
Hey.
Hey, okay.
Wild. That was amazing.
What a cliffhanger. Wow.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
Yeah, like a Christmas miracle, and then just like,
Yeah,
I know.
it's, oh,
that could have gone one way or the other, depending on what happened.
Didn't go the way I wanted.
Wait, what?
You don't know.
Oh man.
I wasn't sure with the roll of 3 whether you would actually make it back after all of that.
No, you had 3 successes. As long as you didn't roll a 1, you were good.
Okay.
It was close.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but anyways, I'm gonna leave it because I think that it's more interesting this way.
But level 3 is a big level for people, I think, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's everybody taking?
Yeah, what do you guys get? How many hit points do you have before you drop? Good thing to know.
Do we wanna share everything, or do we wanna reveal it in the new year?
Ooh.
You can wait.
You can wait, yeah.
I got some fun new tricks at least.
I'm excited to see.
I don't think I get anything.
As a you get
I think you get-
spells.
Yeah, 2nd level spells.
Oh.
Being a caster is very different from being a martial class, just FYI. You don't get as much, but you get stronger and stronger spells every 2nd level, I think.
Okay. There, I was only looking at class features. I wasn't looking at spells.
Okay.
That's doing it.
And you might not get any new unique stuff, but you do get spells.
Interesting. You know what? I might have to like take some time to think about it because I had a plan, but with what happened in this last session, I'm like, do I want to change things up a bit?
mhm.
Yeah, I guess you have
Yeah.
to pick what character you want to play as well. You know,
I think Cyrus is going to stay with Susan and protect her against Cirillo.
So
'Cause-
we're not continuing on the Cyrus lore.
We could. I'm not saying he's not going to come back, but I definitely think his interaction with Cirillo would lead him to stay with Susan, at least for the time being, because he didn't like how that went.
I liked the Vulpix Psyduck arc.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever came up, but his last name on my character sheet is Duxley.
Nice.
Yeah, he's super cute. I love him a lot.
How exactly?
So you didn't get a chance to fight with him. You didn't roll. You didn't roll any combats on our table.
That was good. I got to do the Thunder Wave.
Yeah, that was excellent. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a pun to use with brainstorming, but I couldn't think of anything.
Jesus. Wow, that's a stretch. Brainstorming for a pun.
Yeah, I was like,
Cool. That was great.
Yeah, that was a blast.
that was really good.
Thanks everybody for like going down the side arc to bring Cam back. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I mean,
really sweet.
What are we supposed to do? Just leave you dead?
Yeah.
That's what Cam would want. Cam would-
How exactly do I know what things change? I'm a little confused.
Depending on what you choose, you would either get new abilities or new things that will show up in your character sheet.
Georgina, if you want to see exactly what changed, in the search bar at the top, you can type in cleric, go to the class page, and then scroll down to the table for level 3.
True.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It'll also mark it though when you like manage your character, right?
Yeah, but I don't think she gets anything for level 3 except for second level spells and increased spell slots.
Okay.
And then I think at 4 you get like a class feature. I think, or no, you get an ability score and then
Yeah.
because 4, forget the cleric levels.
Anyways, I have to leave because I got a
Yeah.
prep for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I will talk to you guys before the new year, before
Yeah.
the holidays.
I would hope so.
But yeah, just if it don't, happy holidays,
Yeah. Merry Christmas, man.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Give Martina a hug for us.
Yeah,
Will do. All
definitely.
right, take care, everyone.
Bye,
All right,
Dennis.
see you, Dennis.
Bye.
Yeah, Georgina, it's this that you're looking for.
Yeah, okay. I think that's what I'm looking at.
Yes.
It doesn't look like I get any features.
No,
I just get, hang on.
no, you get nothing.
No, I go from 3 first level spells to 4 and I get 2 second
Oh,
level
that's
spells.
true. True.
But my proficiency bonus remains the same for, okay. Okay, that makes more sense.
So technically,